Hey, welcome back to the Randomness101 podcast. I'm your host slash co-host Spentaur, here with your other host slash co-host Arceaion.
Yo!
Back for another podcast, and I just realized I didn't pull up the list.
We swore we wouldn't talk about that list.
It's fine. But anyways,
it's fine.
We're on episode 4.
So we do have a bit of a list this time, just because we've been gone for so long.
Yeah,
we had a lot of topics that we came up with along the line.
Well, first up, why we were gone for so long.
We should probably explain that.
Arceaion flipped his truck. So I was driving him around I was just driving him home and everything after work for a while. So that's
Then this idiot over here got in a 7 Deadly Sins addiction.
Oh yeah, no, I watched all the reason I haven't uploaded to my channel. I mean, I uploaded a video. I think it was earlier this week or something.
It was Saturday.
Yeah, so
Sunday.
About earlier this week. But the reason I haven't really uploaded is because I've been just watching 7 Deadly Sins. It was my first time watching through it. It's pretty good. Really good series and stuff. One of my favorite anime now.
He also had some family matters he had to deal with.
We won't
go into it. Don't need to go into it.
I was just gonna say my grandfather passed away. That just happened, and we had a funeral and stuff. So we had to change up some scheduling and stuff. But yeah, basically we're gonna try and pre-record one in advance for next 2 weeks or something. We've been planning
to do pre-recording stuff for a while now. We just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, but basically just something on the back burner. It doesn't have to be the next main episode. It could be just a side episode, but just stuff so that if something happens, we can still upload something, so you guys aren't left out with any content or anything like that.
Podcast problems. Last podcast problems.
Yeah, so it's been a while since I've listened to it. I do listen to every one of our own podcasts just because I do want to I want to improve and I want to get better at this whole podcast thing. One of the
problems is I'm still too quiet.
Yeah, we're trying to fix that. We are really trying to fix that. Ryan's I guess it's just the way you talk or something. I don't know. I talk really quiet too.
Yeah, I'm louder than you, but I think I don't know. Anyway, and also you say way too much. I've heard you say it several times.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I really do. I really do. I think last podcast episode I said I want to say it was 50 times or something like that. It was so much, and I hate that because it makes me sound like a teenage girl. You know, it's yeah.
I want to get a compilation of him saying
just every time I say
because I want it to be your ringtone on my phone.
Oh, that'd be funny too.
just have the ringtone like.
Yeah. So yeah, Arceaion had a wreck with his truck. It wasn't his. I mean, you can go into detail with this if you want.
So I won't go into details of the ownership and all that stuff, but it was my truck. I hit it. I sped up because I'd been in a 45-mile-an-hour zone, and there was the sign for 55 miles an hour. I sped up just as I started speeding up. A deer jumped right out in front of me.
And this was over a hill too, so it's one of those dumb luck situations.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call it luck. Luck's the opposite of what it was.
It was
really bad luck.
It was just a very random accident that resulted in me flipping my truck, and I flipped twice.
And so he doesn't Arceaion doesn't have his laptop yet. It's supposed to come in
10th.
This Friday.
But I don't even know if it's shipped yet. Hang on, let me see if it's shipped.
But yeah, so we weren't able to do it through Discord. We weren't able to do a podcast through Discord. Future on, we may end up doing that. It just depends on our scheduling and stuff. But for emergencies or something, if we can't record a podcast episode that day, we'll probably just end up doing Discord call, recording a Discord call. I do keep saying I'm sorry. But if I sound kind of hoarse right now, it's because my neighbor came over and he bought some of the hottest hot wings that
he spent $8 on hot wings just to torture his best friend.
Basically, and I ate 3 of them. Yeah. I ate one and I was like, okay, yeah, this isn't too bad. I ate the second one and I was like, okay, it's starting to get worse. But then I was like, okay, I gotta one up my friend and I gotta eat 3. instead, because he only ate one. I ate 3.
No, you ate 1. You guys were like, "Oh, it's not too bad." You took a sip of your milk, and then you had 3 in a row.
Yeah. So if like you guys hear me sniffling and stuff like that, or just like if it
it's,
sounds like my voice is really hoarse, it's because I have been dying.
No, it's because you're an idiot.
Well, that too, but yeah. So, another thing that was on like that we were going to talk about was the keyboard cat. No, remember the keyboard cat? Like where it would like they'd have the pause like playing.
We played it. I think we played a video last. Didn't we show a video? We showed a video last episode about it, and this came up that he passed away.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, let me
it actually
up the article.
Yeah,
I have it.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Poor cat passed away a few years ago, and we didn't even realize. It's like, dude, if the Shiba Duck person, like the person that created Shiba Duck, passed away, I would be very sad. Not only because it's like the person that created Shiba Duck, but it's also
Cat died on March 8th of 2018 at the age of 9.
That's a long time for a cat. Well, I don't know. My last dog lived for about 15 years. So I don't know what the lifespan are on cats, but apparently they have 9 lives.
His owner, Charlie Schmidt, paid a moving tribute to the keyboard cat with a video.
Yeah.
I think
that's rough.
I think instead of our normal outro with it being a game thing, we should have it we should have
the keyboard cat.
The keyboard cat.
I may do that. I may do that
because I mean, keyboard cat was part of my.
I watched
part of my life.
I don't know.
For a long time.
I watched Keyboard Cat whenever I was really young. So, but yeah, no, it's sad that like Keyboard Cat passed away 3 years ago and we just now noticed.
Oh, I've known for a while, but I didn't. I thought everyone knew.
Oh well, I had no idea. I just now noticed, but memes live forever. So,
he will forever live on in our hearts.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about the fact that my brother looks like JonTron?
His brother looks like JonTron.
Yeah, you came over. I think it was the last time we did a podcast. You came over.
No, it was that second time.
The second? Well, it was episode 2 or 3. Because we've done.
It was the day we did the Minecraft.
Oh, the day. Okay. Well, I don't remember what one that was.
It was
but
the second time I came over.
Anyways,
I met your brother.
He met my brother,
like,
and
oh my gosh, he looks like JonTron.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, who the heck is JonTron? Because I forgot what YouTubers are. Apparently, I don't even know who I am. What's a YouTuber?
What's anything?
But anyways, yeah, no, he looked like JonTron, and I'm like, you know what? And I pulled up a picture, I put it side by side. I'm like, you know what? He kind of does. Like, he could pass a JonTron. He could almost pass a JonTron.
He could.
So, another thing about YouTube is, what are we like outside of YouTube? I'm gonna be honest, dude. Like, I'm saying like a lot. I'll be honest, I'm saying like a lot.
I think you say like a lot anytime.
But anyways,
aside from saying like a lot,
we are basically the exact same people outside of the podcast. Like whenever we're like, because it's just all this is just it's us talking like we are normal friends and everything. It's just us getting on recording and talking to an audience, which is pretty cool. I mean, love you guys.
He has a bit of camera fright.
Well, it depends. It's like I don't like saying like again. I do not appeal to recording videos on my own because I feel like it's better. I have more fun playing games with friends and I forget that I'm even recording in the first place. So a lot of my stuff on my channel is just going to be like clips with me and my friends just because that's how it is. It's hard for me to record just with me because for a really long time I did that just with me, and there were a lot of people that and I didn't tell you about this, but there were a lot of people that actually did say some kind of mean things in the comments, and I just delete them. Like, I delete them, and I'd ignore them for the most part.
Don't delete them.
I'd ignore them for the most part, but that kind of helped. That kind of made me just delete my channel eventually. Well, I didn't delete it; it's still there, but I privated all the videos. So, because it was also videos I made when I was 14, And it's like, well, that's also super cringe, and I don't want to be cringe on this channel. That is a big thing right now. Is I do not want to turn this channel into something that's cringe. Shibaduck is not cringe. Whoever says otherwise is a liar.
So I guess we already mentioned I wrecked my truck. So I guess in honor of that, I should mention a story about it. And then if you have a story. Probably.
Yeah, I can lean to that. Yeah, continuing.
So I got a story, and so this was last year during the big ice storm and all that. Don't give away our location, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Alaska had that huge ice storm. No, stop it.
Yeah, we live in Alaska.
We don't live in Alaska, but we did.
Oh, come on! You're supposed to give away our location.
We had a bit of an ice storm where we live. Well, they know I lived in Texas once, so I could probably still live in Texas, and they had that big ice storm.
Yeah,
they had that shit, but that we're off topic. But anyway, so we had a bit of an ice storm. So I would drive to not my old job, but the job before I had my current job. You know which one?
Yeah. Why are you making this a silent pause? I just said yes. I know what job.
It was like a question mark. Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. So I was driving, and I stopped at a sign, and like ice got under the wheels, and they slide and all that.
Yeah.
And I slid out into the highway, panicked, swerved. And it was
which direction? Okay, so
it was literally like a movie. I panic swerved to the left, and I just went, and I just kept driving. And I was like, well, I feel like a badass right now.
Yeah, speaking of drifting stories, I actually have one. Where I used to live at my parents' house and stuff, there's a curve. And we kind of live like in the country and stuff, but anyways, there's this curve that they were like that. Is really it's like a good like not 90-degree angle, but it's like it's like a good enough curve.
I think I know what area you're talking about.
But like they replaced our entire all of the concrete down that road with gravel, and I don't know why the city did that, because it was honestly just really dumb, because there's a lot of twists and turns on that road. But I was driving and I was leaving my parents' house, and I go to that curve, and from my direction it's like to the left, so it's like curving to the left. But I looked at my friend, and I was like, "Hey, watch me do this," and I just took the turn, and I steered the wheel in such a way that it was the perfect drift. Like, imagine the Fast and the Furious, like Tokyo Drift, where they first see the cars coming out and they're just drifting right in front of them. Imagine that. But that was my car, and it wasn't like a quote unquote drift, because like my car's front wheel drive, but so it was like a slide.
It was a drift like in Cars with the dock or whatever. When
yeah,
you hit that thing in the dirt.
Yeah, and it was honestly the most blissful thing for about 5 seconds, until I had to correct it and turned, and I overcorrected, and we almost went into a bush and like trees and stuff. And it was on my friend's side. Like, my friend was on the passenger side, and he was the one that would have gotten hit and stuff. And so, thank God I know how to use brakes. But
so it was cool up until
it was super cool up until like the point of, oh crap, like, yeah. But I never told my parents that story. We looked at each other after that. We're like, yeah, we're not telling my mom and dad.
Your cat is a giant ball of fluff, and I love it.
Yes, my cat Mars is a giant ball of fluff. You guys may have actually seen her, because I use her as like my face cam for Twitch streams and stuff. I'm starting to do Twitch streams a bit more. It just really it just depends. Depends on my mood.
We'll be getting more Twitch streams.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So, speaking of like Twitch streams and stuff like that. My dumbass lost 2 hours of footage, because it was good footage too. It was like, the Final Fantasy video that I posted, the funny moments and stuff. There could have been so much more to that. Because there was 2 hours where I was playing with that same friend group on the same game, but we were dying laughing like the entire time, and just it would have been so good.
Speaking of things,
but I was okay. Because I just went through another session. I recorded and got that video up, and I was like, oh, okay, it's not that big a deal. I lost it now.
Speaking of things that Lost or, that kind of stuff. There's something coming up, and that would possibly be GTA.
Oh yeah, we were gonna make a GTA 5 video soon because it was on sale, and I decided to gift it to him because he's getting his laptop soon. And he was saying that he's buying new games and stuff, so I went ahead and gifted it.
I've spent like $100 on new games. I got Doom. I got a bundle for the Assassin's Creed series.
You keep dropping your mic whenever you're talking, and I'm just like, that's the reason why it's quiet, is because you keep setting your mic down whenever you're not talking.
Hold the darn thing.
You don't have to hold it, just like keep it like close.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, so I got a bundle of all the crappy Assassin's Creed games. The crappy Assassin's Creeds are Black Flag up to either Odyssey or the Egyptian one. Because Odyssey and the Egyptian one are where they got themselves back online. So I'm not insulting up to Revelations because Revelations was awesome.
And this is completely off topic, but I completely forgot. Are we doing 30-minute episodes or are we doing hour-long episodes?
45 minutes.
45 minutes?
45 minutes to like 50
Okay, because I kind of forgot. We're only like 16 minutes in, so we may just dive into a little bit of the other topics we have.
That's fine. So you mentioned earlier that we were talking. You mentioned like this is how we normally are.
Yeah, so, like with YouTube and stuff, like the way that we do our podcast, this is exactly how we normally are. And for the most part, the podcast will be just us normally talking and stuff. But they're like for role play games, which
it's going to be very different because I have several personas that I can play, and depending on what game it is, will depend on the persona I play.
Yeah.
But
and it's also a state to like we don't want to become one of those YouTubers that just have like this YouTube persona, and then outside of YouTube they're like either total jerks or actually just like decent people, but they don't. I hate the YouTubers. Hate's kind of a strong word for it, but I dislike the YouTubers that like overhype things, because it's like, yeah, that's exciting, but like you don't have to like punch through a computer screen or something for it.
Yeah, those are the really extreme ones, though. And that's mostly, those people have mostly moved to Twitch now. So.
Wow, you're already hating on Twitch streamers, and we've only started streaming.
Oh, no.
You haven't even started streaming yet.
I'm not hating on Twitch streamers. I like Twitch streamers. There's a few Twitch streamers I do enjoy watching. But there's also a whole bunch.
What's your favorite Twitch streamer? Or are we doing call-outs at all?
I'm not doing call-outs.
Okay, whatever.
I don't have a particular.
Well, I'm gonna roll a dice.
I don't have a particularly favorite.
It's a 2.
Either.
I rolled a dice and it was a 2.
But I keep an eye on the Dream SMP.
Yeah, that'd be great if we could get into Dream SMP. Just any like any collaboration with, and it doesn't matter if it's like a big YouTuber or a small YouTuber. I would honestly be glad to just do a collaboration.
Yeah, that'd be fun to do a collab with some YouTubers.
Yeah, because then you get to meet new people and everything. Like, I still think we're super early on.
Yeah, we're in our like to do collabs and meeting people.
I mean, we're just gonna put it out there. We're interested in doing it.
Hey, dream big, or don't dream at all.
Yeah, I mean, we do like record these podcasts. Like, we do have a ton of followers and everything, but as of right now, we don't have a lot. But it's still a matter of like, hey, we may not have a lot right now, but later on we may have a lot, and they might go back and rewatch these. That's my mindset with this. That's why I'm keeping it professional.
It's good to act as if you already have an audience anyway.
Yeah, because we don't. We don't, but
we got like 6 followers.
And we got like 6 subscribers or something like that.
I might post. I've been meaning to post it on my because I have a fanfiction net.
I've been posting a little bit to Reddit.
Well, there's 2 fanfiction sites that I frequent. And, I mean, one of them I don't really know if you want to get involved with, because, but the other one is just normalfanfiction.net.
Yeah, it just kind of depends. But, yeah, looking back at the first podcast, Randomness101 podcast, so far, the podcast episodes It's just like we have 34 views for the first episode, that's pretty good for like a starting channel. I mean, we are small. We are really small. We only have we're just two guys. Like we're trying our best here.
Two
but
guys sitting in the hot tub.
6 feet apart because we're not gay. But yeah, no. For our first video, I think like the second week we had like 27 views, which is pretty good. And it's weird how YouTube's algorithm works because it doesn't always show your videos to other people. It's kind of screwy.
Yeah.
It's very screwy.
I don't even think YouTube knows how their
Dude,
own algorithm.
I don't know how it works, and if I knew how it worked, I'd have our video like at least just the first episode showing up on like some people's feed.
And I suppose I should mention this to the people that are listening. For the viewership to count,
you have to watch at least half the video.
No, you have to watch up to like the last few minutes of the video.
I thought it was up to half.
You have to watch almost the entire thing for it to count.
Okay, well, the point is, our podcasts are good, so you should just be listening to them anyways.
And also, you don't have to just sit down and listen to them. Listen to them while you work. Listen to them, or just whatever.
Or you don't even have to listen to them. Just have it playing in your web browser with it muted.
Fair enough.
That counts as a view towards us. Just anything to help us kind of get more views and everything, because that is something that we're just struggling with, and it's just something that small YouTubers like us just struggle with.
It's something that all small YouTubers struggle with
because we don't have like a following beforehand. This is the first time,
and the algorithm's heavily rigged against newer participants nowadays.
Yeah, so
if the YouTube doesn't work out very well, we might just go to Twitch.
Yeah, I mean it depends. I mean if there's going to be like a new thing that comes out that's like better than YouTube and is essentially the same thing, we'll probably just move our videos and everything over there. It just depends on the times. But yeah.
Oh, YouTube loyalty here.
On another note though, I know it's just the YouTube algorithm is really weird because it shows people videos.
Well, I want to get in contact with MatPat because MatPat knows how to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Because he was like part of the original algorithm and all that.
Yeah. But yeah, so for our podcast, we have 34 views on the first one. For the second one, it's 12. Third is 11, and then this is the fourth. So it's like it's slow. It's like
it slowly has tapered off.
Yeah, but it's just a matter of like whenever we get traction, whenever we start getting traction, then people start subscribing and all that. So
yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, that's kind of a depressing topic because
we should move on to stories.
That's
or anything
yeah.
like
I was gonna say that's a depressing topic because that's just something that a lot of smaller YouTubers.
That can lighten the mood.
Okay, give me a second. Let me finish my sentence. But anyways, it's kind of a sad topic because it's something that small YouTubers struggle with. It's hard to get the following of everyone and all that. So, but yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. So,
well, I guess it's story time with Arceaion here, and this story is actually it's not an old one, but it's not a new one either.
It isn't.
No. Well, new in terms of, like, my more recent ones. This story actually takes place, I think, 2017.
That was the year I was born. No, I'm joking.
No, this one's actually... So I ran with a group, and I won't give any details. I mean, I guess I could give details. I'll probably talk about this group quite often.
You don't have to talk about that because that's kind of a...
Well, I do kind of need to bring it up because not that group, just the group that I would hang out with, but go drinking and all that stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you can talk about it.
So this one, I didn't drink. I mean, I was 17. I wasn't old enough to drink. I had a fake license. But it wasn't for... I think I've mentioned this before. I had a fake license.
But he didn't actually drink. He just went to the bars with them and all that.
I went to the bars with the guys because I was their designated driver to get them back home. Because they would drink till they passed out. So
yeah.
Should I talk about...
Yeah, you can talk about that.
I'll cover that one in another story.
Yeah, we'll write that down on the podcast topics.
That's something I really gotta tell, because that's a good story, and it's very, very hard. It has a good ending. But this one is one of them that kind of doesn't have a good ending, because I think it was like New Year's Eve or something like that, and the guys went out drinking, and I didn't go with them that time because I was with family.
Yeah.
And one of the guys who was a well-known alcoholic got very drunk. Actually, this lines up with the other story. Remember? No, it wasn't New Year's Eve. It was Christmas, because this involves drunk caroling. I'll tell that story another time.
Okay, basically what he's saying is he has a lot of stories that connect to a bunch of other stories, and he's just going to tell you this one.
I can tell both.
Which you can tell both.
Do you want me to tell drunk caroling too?
As long as you tell it in like a sequence where it just makes sense, I guess.
Okay, so drunk caroling. I wasn't with the guys because I was with family. It was Christmas Eve, and the guys thought it'd be fun to go out and, go caroling. Well,
like for people that live outside of America, Christmas caroling is like going to people's doorsteps and stuff, like your friends and all that. Start singing Christmas songs and all that.
When they decided to go caroling, they'd already been out drinking for like 2 hours, so they were heavily drunk. So imagine like a group of like 25 to 30-year-old men stumbling around from house to house, drunkenly singing Christmas carols. And you get the idea. So they get to the town square, and the well-known drunk, who I'm not... Let's give him a name.
Jared.
There we go. We got Jared. So, Jared, he goes and...
does the thing.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does the thing.
Well, I can tell
You're losing track of your story here.
I can tell you what he does. I'm just trying to find a way to word it.
Okay.
Oh,
words are so complicated.
Screw it.
My cat is clawing at my chair. Hello, kitten.
Screw it. I'll just go. I mean, at this point, we'll probably get demonetized. But if we don't, that's fine.
We aren't even monetized to begin with.
Yeah,
so you're fine.
So
you're perfectly fine.
Screw it. I'll just go with the full. He went up to the fountain in the middle of town square, and he pissed right into the fountain.
Yeah, public urination.
Now,
I mean, like...
So, yeah. So, apparently...
Gotta get the alcohol out somehow.
So, yeah. He just is standing there pissing. And it's not a quick piss either. This is a long one. Like, full minute. And as he's pissing, the police show up. And they're like, what the hell are you doing? So yeah, he's
just taking a piss, officer. Don't mind me.
I don't know what he said, because they were too, at this point they were just blackout drunk. They had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
But pretty much. So they spent the night in the holding cell of the county jail. And a few days later, a new law came up that was no urinating in the fountain. They had a plaque put up and everything. Big old words. No urinating in the fountain. So yeah, my friend got like pretty much a county law name made after him.
Yeah.
Don't urinate in the fountains.
Yeah, that's
They had to drain the fountain and everything, because fountains, they recycle the water, kind of. So
I wonder if there were any coins. Were there any coins in there?
There were a lot of coins.
I was gonna say, like, those coins, probably people don't even want to touch them.
Well, I know the coins went missing afterwards. So
oh well, yeah,
I guess
the city probably took it and just used it for tax money or something.
Yeah.
So.
Always our taxes.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So when's your PC coming in?
Oh, by the way, for those of you worried about me flipping and all that from the truck, I'm perfectly fine. I had a bruise from the...
We probably should have mentioned that the first time that we were talking about the truck, because because people could have thought that you were in the hospital or something the whole time we were talking.
No, I'm perfectly fine. If I hadn't have worn my seatbelt, I'd be dead. But
yeah, guys. So he was in the hospital for like 2 weeks. That's why we didn't record the podcast.
I wasn't. Do not believe.
Yeah, it was seriously just the issue of being able to get like transportation here.
And I have transportation now.
Yeah.
Got myself a car.
Yep.
Not the best car.
Yeah, it's in pretty good condition.
It's in good condition.
Yeah,
It's got quite a
it ain't no
few
Mustang, but it's pretty cool. So
yeah, I'm gonna go.
Anyways,
driving around in my Ferrari now.
So I was actually, this is kind of something about the channel. I was considering.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a water. Do you want one?
You always leave me at the worst times, because then I think, oh, what am I gonna talk about? And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I could talk about this, though I could talk about that. So.
You got 30 seconds.
Yeah, give me a Sprite.
Do you want a water or a Sprite?
A Sprite, because I don't even know if we have any water.
We do. I put them in the freezer.
Okay. Can you shut the door?
Yes.
Okay. So, anyways, I started rewatching My Hero Academia for those people that like anime. This is Spentaur's moment, for the record. We always do like a Spentaur segment because he always goes out and just like gets a drink or something. But yeah, started rewatching My Hero Academia for like the third time. The show is really good. I really do like My Hero Academia. But yeah, so that's like, I guess that's like the show that I started watching after Seven Deadly Sins, because I do like anime. I just haven't watched it in a while. But I do have a new episode, or not a new episode, but a new video on my channel, on Spentaurthecentaur. So be sure to, I said Sprite.
Hydrate yourself.
You grab me a water.
Yeah, he had hot wings and like 2 Sprites.
Okay, I had 3 extremely hot wings.
4.
And I did not. No, did I have 4?
He had 4.
I honestly don't even remember. But yeah, and then I had milk. I had a ton of milk.
Hydrate yourself.
Anyways.
Milk is hydrating.
Anyways. Yeah, so I'm just trying to think. I'm like, well, how else can we sell this? What else can we put as like the title on our podcast? Because all of our podcast titles have been hilarious and great, and I love them. I don't know why people aren't watching them. I mean, people are watching them. We got like a general...
Truck flip and drunk urination.
What are we going to name this one, actually? Truck flip and drunk urination? Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good topic.
I mean, what else could we put as the topic? What did we talk about this episode? I honestly forgot. We've been just sitting here and talking.
Yeah, we've been just sitting here talking.
I was going to say, I was considering using Photoshop for a while.
Yeah, you got one.
Yeah, I was considering using Photoshop, but Photoshop, for those who don't know, is not a free program. It's basically a photo editing program. It's what a lot of big YouTubers use for editing their like thumbnails, the pictures that show up on the screen before you click on the video. And I had taken classes in college for graphic design, which we used Photoshop for that. So I was considering just buying that, because it's like $10.99 a month, which is kind of pricey. But my mindset was, I'm not paying for Disney Plus right now. I'm not paying for Hulu or anything like that, so it's not that big a deal. But I just changed my mind, decided not to.
You didn't just change.
Well, I didn't just change my mind.
I told you that I could find something way better. Give me like 2 days after.
You said like a week, and I went home that night. And
no, you looked it up on your phone.
Yeah, I looked up on my phone, and we found GIMP, and I was like, oh yeah, GIMP exists. GIMP is a free photo editing program. It's like Photoshop. I don't think it's as good as Photoshop, but it's like Photoshop, and it just works just as well.
The fact that it's free is kind of a tell that it's not going to be as good as Photoshop.
Yeah, Photoshop's expensive because it's Photoshop, because it's like name brand and all that. But eventually, we'll get like Photoshop that's free. I hope. I don't know. A bunch of corporations and schools use it and everything. I know I took 3 years of graphic design and stuff, so a lot of my videos, you'll see I'm going to work on the editing a lot more. Like this video specifically as well.
I have to stretch. Sorry, mate.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Rolling the dice again, and it is a 3. So we're going 2, 3. Let's see. Can I roll 4? Yeah, I can roll 4.
I guess so.
Dude, I did. I rolled a 4. Legit. Look at this. I rolled a 4.
Let's see if we can get
okay, let's see 5.
5.
It's a 2. Well, I tried. Now, I just have this dice sitting on my desk for whatever reason. What?
D&D.
No, it's not from D&D. Because D&D we play online, and we have, like, auto rollers on the thing. Well, it's just...
Way to take the sport out of it.
It's hard when one of your friends lives in Indiana.
And another in Paris.
Yeah. Actually, he's moving to Ireland or something like that, so...
Good for him. Ireland is beautiful.
Yeah. But... Anyways,
what were we talking about before all this?
We were talking about YouTube and how hard it is.
No, after that. It was after my drunk thing. I came back and you were talking about something that led to it.
Oh, I was mainly just talking about like that I have a new video on my channel.
That. The one after.
What do you mean the one after? I was talking about like our
the
weird
conversation after we had the one where I returned.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You were really high on shrooms or something.
I'm not. I don't do drugs.
You don't do drugs, but you sound like you're high on shrooms.
Dude, every single
what?
Every single episode, it sounds like I've only had alcohol like on that second episode, and even
There's
then,
a wild cat outside. Somewhere outside. It's just not right in our view. Yeah, no, there are wildcats. I live in Australia. There are a lot of wildcats.
Oh, shut up! First you said Alaska.
Okay, the more I say, and the more you just reject it, the easier it is for them to pinpoint our location and rob us.
The fact that you're just saying it anyway just gives away the location because
we live in Shubaduck's beak.
Yes,
we
do.
Whatever shape you relate that to a country or something, like we live in his beak.
I don't know.
I just took a few seconds to look at Shubaduck for a second
Florida?
there.
I mean,
is that Florida?
I don't know.
It looks like, dude. It kind of looks like a duck like a duck foot. You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a duck foot whenever it's like right there.
I like Shubaduck.
I do like Shubaduck. Shubaduck is great.
Oh,
yeah.
We're running out of topics.
Actually, I had something to talk about.
What?
Do you know what this is?
No.
This right here, my good sir, is my Ouya. This is what I played video games on for a really long time. Do you see how small this is?
Holy shit.
Okay,
I've been meaning
I'll
to
put a
ask
picture of an
you
Ouya on the
this.
screen for like size comparison, but no, you have no idea what this is, and that's what the Ouya is. This is the controller. I got this from I bought this after it was backed on Kickstarter, after it was fully purchasable on Amazon, and so it's just basically it's a small Android console, and it was meant to play. Like, they were going to say Minecraft was going to be on it. It's going to have, a bunch of big games and all that. It very much had a gaming-focused thing. And it came out in 2014. So I was like, this was actually this was what my old YouTube channel used to be based on. This is the history of Turtle Toy, which was my original name. Was Turtle Toy. Either that or Slider Gaming. I kind of changed it back and forth. But yeah, no, this is what I would always make videos on. And I had a whole 60 subscribers on that for this. I didn't even put this in the podcast topics. I meant to show you this because we're going to make a video going back to the Ouya, and I'm going to show you how the UI works and everything.
I want to see this.
Yeah, I'm going to show you how the UI works and everything, and I'm going to show you just what I grew up with, because essentially.
I'll have to show you what I grew up with. Well, okay.
Well,
if you do that, then I'm going to have to bring out the.
This is something that was 14. This was back when everybody was getting their PS3s and their Xbox 360s.
Yeah.
I bought this before then.
Yeah, that sounds like the era of when I got my Digi.
Do you want to see the controller?
I've already seen it.
Do you want to hold it? Because there's you can feel.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, it is different. It's very different.
I thought it was an Xbox controller, but no,
it's
slightly different.
And the cool thing about Ouya is it's an Android console, so they programmed it to where any controller works. It doesn't matter what it is. Any controller will work as long as it's got USB or Bluetooth or something like that. But there's only one button on the console. It's just this top power button. There wasn't any physical. There wasn't any physical games for it or anything.
Ouya.
Yeah, and the buttons spell out Ouya.
So there isn't the square, circle, triangle.
There's no square, circle, triangle, A, B, X, Y. That center part right there. You see how worn out that is? That's a touchpad.
Yeah, I figured those.
I used to use that because you can sideload Android games on an Ouya. You can put Android games on Ouya. I used to play Clash of Clans on this thing.
I wonder if you could put. Oh, I wonder if you could put some of the newer games on there.
I know you can. Pokemon Go will not work because it does not have.
Well, duh.
I don't. Well, actually, Pokemon Go might work, but it'd just be you'd be stuck in one spot.
Yeah.
But it's also it doesn't adjust the resolution, so it cuts off the sides and just shows the middle.
Oh yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's very similar to.
But with Clash of Clans, games like Clash of Clans and games that were sideways, it showed the entire screen, so you could sit there and play Clash of Clans on TV. And it was super cool. I actually played Minecraft with it, but the thing is back then Minecraft didn't have controller support at all, and there was no way to like get controller support for it. So I had to play Minecraft with the touchpad only. It was so hard. I recorded like one video on it, and then I was like, okay, this is just too hard. I got used to it though. I got actually pretty good at playing Minecraft with just the freaking touchpad of the Ouya controller. So, and there was a here, I've got something else to show you about this controller. If you just pull this off right here, that's where the batteries go.
Oh.
And you can interchange these. I have a green pair of these that are different colors.
That's cool.
And there's like a green, I have a black pair, but it's like these side panels that go like come off the controller or put a screen on or a picture on right now.
Yeah, because this is gaming history.
This is well, someone just threw in a cat toy. But basically what happened with Ouya is in 2014 it released, and a lot of people were upset because there was a lot of things wrong with it. It just well, there wasn't really a lot of things wrong with it in my opinion, but they said that Minecraft would be available for it. Minecraft never came out on the console. Like, the only way to get Minecraft was to sideload it, which was like quote-unquote hacker stuff. And another thing that was something for people that they just didn't want to buy it, another reason, was they said in the introduction video, hackers are allowed to like use the box and like tinker with it and stuff. But it's because it's an Android console, it's like, it's very, what's the word?
It's very open to doing stuff.
It's open source. It's open source, so it's just, you can take it apart, and people have made Ouya portables. People made Ouya portables before that are just like that just are the handheld based off the like taking apart the controller and the console. I've taken apart the Ouya controller before because I had to first off, if you just take off, people always complained about like the triggers because they thought the triggers were a little squeaky and cheap. I like them. I personally like this controller. I grew up playing this and my hands were always big, so I just got used to like playing with it. People say that
I've always had to use 3D the XL versions of the DS's because my hands have always been so big.
Yeah, people have said that like the buttons, they catch on the faceplate, but for me they have never caught on the faceplate within like, I played this console for about like 6 years straight. Or not like 6 years straight, like 4 years straight or something, but they have never been caught on it. You can even take off the side panel, take off the joystick, and you can spray paint the top of the joystick if you want a different color. If you want a different color or something like that, and it just sticks right back on. But like I used to be able to take these apart and all that because mainly just to clean them.
Yeah, you know what to do.
Mainly just to clean them and stuff. But yeah, the console kind of struggled in the fact that everybody just thought it was going to release like immediately, having like because a lot of the
no, you can't immediately release something like that and have Minecraft and big game titles.
Yeah. And they had no guarantee of big game titles like that. Square Enix did release Final Fantasy 3 on it, and I did buy it. I did buy Final Fantasy 3. The servers are dead now, so I can't play in my purchase games because whenever you would launch a game, it would check first to see if you bought it. But the main thing was they were just having problems like shipping so many units and all that with the Kickstarter. And it's sad to see because it had potential. It had a lot of potential. And I actually have two of these. I have my brother's old one and I have mine. But I don't have a power cord for my brother's old one because I gave it to my friend that had one. He lost the power cord. So...
Well, that looks like a standard power cord.
I mean, it's not like that... it's fine. I can pick it up later. It's not like that big a deal. But as you can see, though, it's like... An Ouya is like half the size of a water bottle in like a square form. or
Yeah,
a cube, like a
the
cube
thing's
form.
tiny. Like, it's very tiny.
It had a bit of problems overheating because they put the fan on the bottom, and the only thing that was preventing the fan from the only thing that was helping the fan blow was these little rubber pieces on the bottom.
Turn it on its side though.
I did. I turned it on its side all the time.
Yeah, just turn it on its side and you get the problem solved.
Yeah, but it like people that was one of people's complaints. A lot of people complained about the controller, and I was like, "What's wrong with the controller? Like this controller actually slaps." This controller is good.
Yeah, I like the controller. I like the feel of it.
Yeah, it's nice and big. I like the fact you can take off the side panels. The whole battery thing, like I don't really care for I don't like the fact that they had to use batteries, but it's just a matter of the technology back then. There's even like you press the button and then those will light up. Those will tell you like what controller you are and all that. Like
it's pretty much a Wii remote, but
better. And can you guess what the launch price of this console was?
$20.
$20? What are you short selling them? It was $100.
Oh wow!
It was $100, and they said that Minecraft would be on it like day one. Minecraft would be like, well, they didn't say Minecraft would be on day one, but they said Minecraft is going to be on it, and Twitch TV, which Twitch was on it. I did have Twitch on there. YouTube was on it. They had a YouTube app, but it just
couldn't make it in the market.
Yeah, and the thing is there was so many other consoles like the Ouya afterwards that were just trying to copy it, and it's a sad thing to see because it really was.
It was ahead of its time.
I want to say it was ahead of its time, but it was like right there with it was the highest end of like phone capability because it had like NVIDIA Tegra, like 3 or something or 4, but 3 I guess. But it wasn't ahead of its time. It was more so the fact it was...
The concept was ahead
of its time. The concept was ahead of its time. Because you know how there's like the cloud gaming and stuff like that? There was cloud gaming services on the Ouya. Like they existed for a little bit.
It reminds me of stuff like Laserdisc and all that stuff where it was there and it was available and it was probably at most times even the better option. But bigger companies would come up with something better faster, even if it was a cheaper product.
And I'll have to show you later, but the advertising team just did not do as good of a job as what they could have.
That's probably
so that really, it's like the advertising team, and then just the fact that it wasn't given Minecraft from the time that it.
I guess I'll give it your turn on the spot. I guess it's my turn now to talk about.
Well, what are your opinions on the Ouya and stuff? Like, what do you think so far? Just by looking at it? We haven't played it yet or anything.
We haven't played it or anything, but I think it would be amazing to see something like this come back. I would love to see it come back. Actually.
Yeah, and I will show you. I'm gonna buy an Elgato like soon, and then I'll literally get your first reactions to this because you have never seen anything like this, and this is from 2014. This is a long time ago. This is like PS3 era.
This is 2014.
This came out in 2014.
Yeah, this is ahead of its time.
Yeah, and it's so small too. Like there's 4 screws you can pop off, and then it's just a little like board that's in the center, and then weights to keep it in place. But it wasn't dragged down by cables or anything like the PlayStation TV. There was a.
Yeah, that's so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
But I guess it's my turn to pull out an old console. Well, sort of an old console.
Yeah.
The Digi.
Which, that was more of a console, like, geared towards kids and all that. It was
geared towards kids, and it was a leapfrog product, believe it or not. But
yeah, I did...
You can put up see if you can find an image of it and put it up on the screen.
It's right there.
Yeah. Done in post.
But. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a lot of editing, a bit of editing for this video, but...
But that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
But, no, the Dig was... Or Digi, sorry, I always called it the Dig. The Digi was very ahead of its time. It had cross compatibility with online stuff, and they had an online store, and you could make your own avatars, and
that's kind of cool.
It had all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah,
it lasted for quite a long time. They had really good. I know it's lasted for Star Wars: The Clone Wars because I got I got a video or a game cartridge for Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I had one for Indiana Jones. I had one that was Sonic the Hedgehog. It had all the old Sonic the Hedgehog games on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a blast to do. So they partnered up with Sega at some point, and there were all kinds of stuff. I know for a fact they had a few Mario titles. I know Mario Party got involved.
Yeah.
And if I can find my old Digi, it had an AC adapter, so we could plug it into the TV and, you know.
No, that'd be pretty cool. We
could mess with it there too. So, but yeah, it just.
Yeah.
That was my childhood.
No, but I was pretty close with the Ouya community because it was a pretty small community, but I was pretty close with them. I actually was mentioned in one of their videos because it was like every few weeks or something a new game would come out and they'd do a live stream on Twitch, and then they'd have a pro tip and stuff, and I managed to catch them like in one of the streams, and my pro tip for them was don't die, and they're like, yeah, that's good advice, like just in general. So, but
they died.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
But I'm looking back.
They should have taken your advice to heart.
But I'm looking back on my old channel, and I did there wasn't a Minecraft game on this system, but it was like Mine Test was basically a very dumbed down version of Minecraft that was just like, it's like a crappier Minecraft. Well, and I had 66 episodes of it.
Well, you want to know something?
What?
I don't know why you couldn't play Minecraft on it. Because there's Minecraft on those Nokia flip phones.
Yeah, but it's just a matter of switching from a flip phone to a controller. Because
no, they could use it. They could you could actually do it.
Oh well, it depends because it just changes because of the times and all that.
I guess. Well, I guess.
I mean, I could try sideloading Minecraft on it nowadays, and it might work. But because I know Minecraft nowadays, like Pocket Edition, has a lot of controller options. And I may have to use a different controller other than the Ouya controller, but I could probably play it on here. So, but
that'd be fun.
Yeah, I went all the way to episode 65 of that episode, and I think that was of that series, and I think Mine Test was my longest series. But I had a few developers actually ask me to do gameplay of I think I only just had one developer ask me for like to do gameplay over his video, and I did, and it was pretty cool. But it's just like, yeah, my old channel, I just have it pulled up on the circle, like on the other screen here, but just I had so much Mine Test. Like this was always, I mean, one was I would upload one like 4 days before the next. And then just like it'd be every 4 days or something like that I'd upload. So I tried to upload as much as I could. But yeah, I was really dedicated to the old channel, and so I want to be dedicated to this channel just as much as I was my old one. So yeah.
You ever get your hands on a DS Dinosaur?
A DS Dinosaur, like the old silver ones?
No, the ones before.
The ones before the silver ones, like the ones that. Here, let me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a photo on the screen. Here in like 3, 2, 1, boom. But like, you mean that?
Yeah.
Like that? I had one of those.
DS you had.
I had one of those. I had one of those. Yeah. I think I still have one actually. If you want to distract people and talk for a second, I'll find it. I don't know. We'll just look at it later. I'm gonna pull the Ouya box down because I still have that too.
You have the Ouya box too? Oh, I see it. Yeah. Huh. Well, what are you flipping now?
Yeah. So, a thing about the Ouya was they had a thing that was like, okay, you can get the console. Every game should be free to try. So every game on the store was free to try for like the first 2 or 3 years, and then they dropped that. They made but every game was free to try to start off with. But as you can tell, like I'll show pictures of the box on the screen. But that's what the screen used to look like.
Cool.
They changed it a lot. They had a lot of cool updates and stuff, and they were named after like cryptids. So like the Chupacabra, the shoot, why can't I think of any other cryptids? I want to say Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot was one.
Bigfoot's considered a cryptid, but
yeah.
not really.
It was released too early because they didn't have a friends. They didn't even have a friends list on there. They didn't have a friends list. They didn't have voice chat. There was a lot of things that the Ouya was missing at launch, but there was also a lot of things that it had that I enjoyed. So I don't even. I'm just reading a little bit on the back of the box. It says the little box inside this box has big dreams.
It did.
It had big dreams, but the dreams are over now. But
the dreams were crushed.
Yeah. So if you open this up,
crushed your dreams with reality.
It gave a lot of the earlier kits it's an orange thing that says "and so begins the revolution," and I managed to get one of the earlier consoles.
Oh, by the way, once again, this stream is supported, or this stream is sponsored.
This
podcast is sponsored by
water. Yep, water is our sponsor.
H2O.
Yep.
I want to keep that going.
You want to keep that going? I do too. I mean, we basically just use water a lot.
We drink a lot of water.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody even looks up Ouya videos these days because.
Well, I've never even heard of the thing, so I imagine
it's very much a historical artifact.
Yeah, that's a relic of a bygone era.
A relic of time. It was right before the PS4 came out, so the touchpad. That was before they even had the pad for the touchpad on the PS4 controller. So they created the touchpad before the PS4 controller did, and that was just because they wanted to sideload Android games. So that was how you would play Android games, is just with the touchpad.
It's just legends. It's a legend.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. But anyways, I don't know what time we're at, but we're probably past the time limit.
I have no idea.
Yeah, we're like 56 minutes. So we did pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little worn out.
Anything else you want to talk about before we end this podcast?
No.
Okay. Thoughts on Ouya?
I honestly think it was something ahead of its time that could have been great.
It's got a nice clicky button on the top.
It just was ahead of its time, I think.
Yeah, well, you may say that, but a lot of people back then didn't say that. I was very much on the Ouya hype squad, but there was a lot of people.
I'm on the Ouya hype
squad. There was a lot of people that were on the Ouya hate squad, and that was just something that people were just wanting. I guess people just saw people were backing it and just wanted to take it down or something. But I don't know. It was a lot. It was back then with the Xbox and PlayStation fanboys.
Oh yeah.
Where they're just hating on every other console. And so that's what really hit it hard. Is because a lot of PlayStation and Xbox fanboys weren't buying it because they're just like.
Was it Xbox 360 or?
It was around Xbox 360, PS3 time.
Oh, so that'd be Counter-Strike, that'd be the Halo. There
was a lot. Yeah, it was a bad time for it to come out. If it would have came out after
even just a year after, even just 1 year.
A couple years, yeah. But yeah. Anyways, we're gonna end the podcast there.
Well, I would say who made Android? It was Android.
No, it was old people. It was people that used to work at Xbox. They used to work with Microsoft that created this.
Well, hey, whoever made it, if you ever
Google did not create it.
If you ever come across this podcast or whatever,
I think it was Julie Herman.
Please remake the Ouya. Bring it back.
I've been thinking about modding an Ouya because I have two. Hear me out. I've been thinking about modding an Ouya with a Raspberry Pi so that I can basically yes. I don't know if you know what a Raspberry Pi is.
I don't know what a Raspberry Pi is. But that's a sentence I never thought I'd hear.
I've got that next to me too.
An Ouya with a Raspberry Pi.
You know what? We'll save that for next episode. I'll talk about that next episode. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe below.
Hey, don't just go cut me off.
Okay, well, what do you want to say?
Well, first off, Ouya's great. If the creators ever come across this video, please remake it.
Please make a new one, unless you're bankrupt, because I know that was they had a lot of financial problems too. So either that or just someone out there needs to mod a new one. I think
this episode's gonna be named for the Ouya or something.
I mean, I was planning on it.
We talked way too much about this.
We talked a whole 30 minutes or something about, but I was planning on it after I busted out this, and I was like, I'm going to talk about this because I kind of forgot to tell you that I brought it back. Anyways,
you told me you had it, but you haven't showed it to me.
Anyways.
But, yeah.
Yep. All right.
Honor Grumpy Cat or honor Keyboard Cat.
Grumpy Cat might have passed away
Grumpy
too.
Cat's passed away too.
And in honor of Keyboard Cat,